Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Jade Cocoon. I'm your host CPC Gamer, and in our last episode, we began exploring the beetle forest of the Netherworld. Now there are plenty of things that sound good when you suffix them with of the Netherworld, but beetle forest is not one of them. Let me tell you. These mantis guys are pretty good though. I caught a bunch of them the last time I was here, and they served as pretty good parts for Lynod. But I'm not going to catch this one. We're going to tag in Trish and let her beat the tar out of him. I mean, game-wise, we're in the middle of the trial by fire, so we've got a huge fire minion coming up, but what the heck? Let's give our favourite earth minion some screen time, how about? And thinking logically, I don't think we're going to have a big water boss coming up. We already did the trial of water, and that was getting here on our own, so it might seem like Trish is going to become obsolete. But on the other hand, she is a tank that walks on all fours, and that's a pretty useful thing to have. And I love that little hop she does before attacking. It looks like she's enjoying being in a fight, you know? I mean, I mentioned it way back. Her facial expression looks like she's ready for a fight. Little flares like that make it seem like she's enjoying what's going on. And that wasn't too bad. I think if we have another one of those, Trish will get her level. Oh, at this screen. I wonder if there's anything over here to the right, like in the light world. Looks like no. Alrighty, fight time! Yeah, there you go! I am not too fussy about getting extra mana, because she had 35, which was good enough to do a good combination of her special moves, and leave a bit of a buffer at the end. It's quite a nice step up from her debut as Trish.0. Also, I promise I will never call you that again, because now I'm thinking of Tosh.0, and that makes me really sad. But at the same time, it makes me kind of happy, because in England, Tosh is a word that means that something is stupid, or it's lies. It's not one that comes up a lot, because around here we mostly use cobblers, but it's still a fun one. Also, I'm surprised Trish didn't get enough strength to take out that guy in a single turn. But that's okay, because trading blows is riveting. And it'd be a lot more riveting if some of her attacks actually hit. I wonder if this is the game subtly dropping hints for the player. You know, bring your water minions and make them fast. So, I guess we're doing this the old-fashioned way now. That's cool. And since we're back here in the starting forest, it stands to reason combat would also regress to slap fighting as well. That said, is it healing more damage that I'm doing? Because that's the opposite of what I'm here to do. Nice! The critical hit isn't nice. It looks like it could have hurt, but it didn't do the health drain. Perhaps because he is out of mana. One of the special weapons you can get drains the enemy mana, so you can't physically hurt them, but you can take away all their toys. You know, it's like an idiot, drag them down to your level and beat them with experience. Also, I didn't mean to close the menu there. I wanted to heal up Trish, so give me a second while I do that. And while I do that, even though I'm not too keen that they recycled the maps for the Beetle Forest, I do like that they remixed the tune and they put a sinister slant on it. The heck are you? I don't know, but I know I want to catch it. Srikata is a vaguely familiar name. I think this guy always reminded me of N. Carter, way back when. Either way, I'm going to catch him and put him on the list. You may have seen, the first screen of the menus lists the total number of species that you've captured. And there's over 200 in the game. Damn, Trish! Good job! I don't know the actual number of species in the game, but I do know that it doesn't matter, because certain monsters never spawn, even though they show up in the monster list, so it's impossible to complete this game's Pokédex. That was another one-shot kill for Trish. Like, I think I need to start pulling my punches a little bit, or I will never catch one of those guys. And again! That's unfortunate. Those guys have got to have something good about them. I mean, it's a basic rule in pet management games like this one. The harder a monster is to capture, the better stuff it will give you. It's like that one enemy in the RPG that's really hard to kill, but if you do it, then you get a huge reward for it, like cactuars or the golden hands. Okay, just up ahead is the boss. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to head back to the temple for now. I don't think I'm going to be tough enough for the upcoming fight, so I'm going to do some more leveling and grinding to get myself ready. But, rather than ending the video here, we'll be back when all the hard work is done, so we can take on the boss today. Although, since I am here, I'm going to show off some of the stuff that I didn't show off in the last episode. By which I mean I'm going to show off the shop screen. We don't need to do any shopping today, but I'm going to show it off anyway. And there it is. Move functions as both the item and the weapon shops, but right now we don't really need to buy anything, so let's move on. We will come back though, because Moo also serves as CPC teenager's primary love interest. Got a little bit of a boyhood crush going on there. And this is the Chamber of Helpful Distractions. And also Purifications. I mean, I showed it off a little bit last time, so I'm going to get my team sorted out, do a bit of work to prepare myself for the boss fight, and we'll see you guys in a little while. Alright, we're back. You guys are going to love what's in store. Just love it. Also, I did some thinking. There's a big difference between the way in which Mabu and Ra do their jobs. Like, they both say the same basic phrases when doing the same jobs, but while Mabu practically killed herself doing it, Ra does it like it's no big deal. And I like to think that some parts of it is because Ra uses more elaborate and archaic language. These and thous, do not and cannot, rather than don't and can't. I mean, it makes sense, given the game's spiritual streak. A lot of early Christian doctrine involved communicating in Latin, that being the apparent best language for communicating Holy Writ. Or maybe it's because Ra has been trained to do the rituals for her whole life, while Mabu was just thrown into it one day. Mu and Ra both show up in the sequel, which takes place an indeterminate length of time in the future, and they do the same jobs then as they do now, so I don't know, maybe it is a time thing. Maybe you don't notice it after a while, like sitting in a hot bath, or a pre-fight monologue that you accidentally talked through. I do like what the game's doing, though. I like when the tutorial guy becomes a boss later on, especially if he's a challenge. I also like the reverse, when boss monsters come back as regular enemies, and you get to realize how much stronger you are compared to the start of the game. And I guess we're not fighting Chorus. Okay. But that's alright, because look at this Studio Ghibli monster. That is some Princess Mononoke design right there. Whatever, this is the fire boss. And this is what TV tropes might term a wake-up boss fight, because you might have had trouble before, but this guy will kick your ass if you're not prepared for him. I think I should be alright with my usual tactic for boss fights. I take the first move, then I tag in my minions once the actual boss monster shows up, and oh my god, it's Ridley! This is gonna hurt. Actually, it wasn't that bad. Okay. Tactics-wise, you have two main options. You can tag in a water minion and play the type advantage, or you can summon a fire minion and get some heavy hits in that way, because I'm pretty sure that this arena always has the properties where fire attacks get boosted. I mean, look at it, the whole place is on fire. If it didn't have the fire boost, I'd be worried. Bod's new attacks are to absorb HP, and a break legs move that cannot miss. Now, I mentioned that one in an earlier video. It does extra damage against monsters that walk, but no damage to monsters that fly. And given that this guy has wings, I suspect the game will use that as an excuse to have the attack miss. So I I don't think we'll be doing a lot if this guy can drain our mana. Which is actually kind of a flaccid attack, really. I mean, especially when you compare it to the actual pillar of fire you opened up with. What, you scared of me now? Besides, Bot's got a magic focus. He's full of mana. And I don't even need it. See how much damage I've done after like 2 hits. Really, that's it? I might have overhyped this boss, you guys. I remember this guy being harder than he actually appears to be. Although with that said, I also remember him being a giant black spider that took up the entire right side of the screen, so I can't say I've got total recall about this game. I mean, how many times have I said, if I remember rightly, during this playthrough, you know? Serious question, because I noticed I was saying it a lot in episode 2, and I went back and I counted, but then I lost count because I just kept saying it. And yeah, I don't even care. Chip damage time, let's go. Gives me more time to talk. Little, bods. That was harsh. Although I have to wonder, why didn't you open with that? Because that would have shut me up and got me on track way quicker than whatever it was you were doing before. Levant can take 2 or 3 hits yet, so we'll be alright to buff up Lynod, then send him back into the field. And I like how, no matter what game I play, I always end up filling the support role. I am a mean medic in TF2, I tell you what. Okay, one more to get rid of poison, and we'll be right as rain. Which is a sentence I have never fully understood. I understand raining cats and dogs. Like when we all had wicker huts, the cats and dogs would hide in the rafters, and when it began to rain, they'd come down again. So, there's that. You guys, I am so glad they give the option to toggle item help in the menu. I like the full description of items and their names, but I can never remember which item cures poison and which one cures stoning. Alright, come on, don't hurt. Okay, time to go back to Lynod and hope my minions can do the rest of the legwork. And I can go back to talking about my minion design. Vod got one of his new attacks from the Mantis guys we fought in the Forest Ruins, and his break leg attack came from Jakarta. Those dragon guys by the busted up fountain. They're also where his current skin came from, because I will admit I tried using one of the bug things, but a tie-dye dragon does not look very cool. Holy crap. I knew that was the right thing to do. And just like the poacher fights, we have to beat this guy after beating his minion. I daren't say whether it's easy or hard this time, because pretty much every time I've speculated, I have been wrong. Although I am going to do the break legs move, because this guy doesn't have the benefit of wings to screw around with the game's rules. Although, with that said, I'm not sure what kind of damage that even did. I mean, he's a boss character, right? It's right there in his name, so it follows that he's got a high defense stat anyways, right? Or maybe not. I do like Lana's little punch, though. It's not as good as Crowley's Haymaker, but it sure is cute looking. Oh, that is some shenanigans, game. You can't give yourself a magic pixel like that. Not that it's a particularly big deal, because I can't imagine it's going to do you any good. Well, with that said, do I want to tag in anyone else? No, I don't. I was thinking of giving one of the other guys an EXP boost for taking care of the fire boss, because Lynod's going to get one for beating Ridley, but that seems rather unfair, because Lynod's the one who did all the work. Let's see how he did, how about? Oh, an elixir. Always useful. Nice! And a free level. I say free. It was actually quite a struggle to get that, but hell, I'm not going to complain because that is pretty spiffy looking. So, what do you reckon, Chorus? Did we win the race? Or whatever it was we came here to do? Yeah, okay, you need some time to think/load. That's okay. Happens to the best of us. And that's actually a pretty neat way of looking at it, if you think about it. Because Chorus is basically saying that he did feel all this hate and what have you, but it's the fault of the fire boss that he attacked us. Even though he himself never directly attacked us. Come to think of it, what did happen? And why is Chorus all beaten up? I feel like we've missed a very important line of dialogue in the translation or something like that. Ooh, but I get a save point apparently. That's pretty helpful. Of course not! It's the Jewel of Fire. Which means we have 2 gems of the 4 required to reach the final boss. Well, that actually went pretty smoothly, so I have high hopes for the next couple of fights. The Orphan? I have no idea who that could refer to. Mabu, perhaps? I mean, she's always called Garai Mother, but that could be a term of respect or religious standing, like a nun. I don't know. Oh, and thank you for your concern, Nee. Don't ask how I am or how it went, just ask if I got your stuff back. Why did I even hire you? Oh, incidentally, right back in episode 1, they talked about the white and blue beast of Nagi folklore. The blue beast was righteousness, and that would be Chorus, and the white beast is fate. That would be us. As it was the whole time, we just didn't know it then. Anyhow, the doorway to the next forest is open, and we're going to begin exploring that in the next episode. So until next time, goodbye!